furling jib is a system where the head sail is wrapped around the forestay of the mast. The sail is deployed by pulling on the jib sheet. The sail is doused by pulling on the furling line, which wraps the sail around the forestay. I was having difficulty sailing my boat as I needed to motor out on the lake before I deploy my sails. I didn't have any problems with raising the mainsail on the lake, however I found that when I raised the jib, it would turn the sailboat, putting me at risk for capsizing. I thus wanted to have a way to deploy the foresail while I was in control of the mainsail and the rudder. The furling jib allowed me to do that. I did order my roller furling hardware from American Sail, which was designed specifically to fit my boat. There are certainly other supply sail companies where one can buy the hardware. Included in the kit were a furling drum with the line attached, the top terminal with a furling swivel, one furling bullseye, and one jam cleat. Note that I needed to purchase and install another furling deadeye, which I will discuss later. It was also necessary that I buy a jib specifically for furling that has the forward stay sewed into the sail. Another option is to remove the jib hanks and have a sailmaker sew the forestay into the sail. The forward fair lead or bullet block was installed first. This was installed 8 inches from the tip of the bow and 1 inch from the outside lip of the deck, not measuring the rub rail. Note that you may want to drill the hole 1.5 inches from the outside lip. I did drill through the gunnel. I located this and made pencil marks for the outside hole from the center line. A guard mark was tapped with a nail. The first 1/8 inch hole was drilled. Note, be careful to stop drilling after the first loss of resistance to avoid drilling through the gunnel. Another option as noted would be to measure the hole 1.5 inches from the edge. I did drill 1 inch from the edge and did not stop at the first loss of resistance and thus drilled a hole through the gunnel. I placed a screw and tightened it halfway in. I lined up the fair lead the way I wanted it and tapped a second hole with the nail. The hole was drilled, the screw inserted and tightened. I then firmed up both screws with a handheld screwdriver. The jam cleat was installed next. The back of this was placed 6 inches in front of the bolt connection for the left shroud, left side stay, and in the center of the gunnel. Again, I drilled the back hole first, placing the screw halfway in, lining up the cleat the way I wanted it, and then tapping a pilot hole, and finally drilling. Note, this was all of the deck hardware that came with the kit from American Sail. However, when I started using the furling line, I noted that it was rubbing on the wave breaker of the deck and was starting to abrade the paint. I did temporize with a PVC pipe to protect the paint. As a permanent solution, I purchased another fairlead deadeye from Sailrite. This was placed with the furling line taut from the furling drum to the jam cleat and flush to the deck at the wave breaker. I did place it high enough that the line no longer abraded the deck. To attach the sail to the boat, the forward stay is removed. The top terminal of the upper swivel of the sail forward stay is attached to the mast tang at the lowest adjuster. The holes of the adjuster as shipped are not wide enough and had to be milled or widened with a 15/64 drill bit. The sail was then attached. The drum assembly was attached to the back hole of the stem head. Note that the furling line was completely pulled out of the drum, passed through the dead eyes and the jam cleat before stepping the mast. The mast is now ready to raise. The side shroud adjuster pins were placed in the top hole of the adjuster. Prior to the conversion to the furling jib, I placed these in the second hole from the top, but with the furling jib I found that I needed to go all the way to the top hole to allow me to raise the mast and attach the forestay to the furling drum. The roller furler bottom loop of the forward stay is then connected to the drum. The furling line is attached to the drum. Make sure that a figure 8 knot is on the line that is passed through the hole in the drum. Pay attention to where the line exits the drum. Pass the line through the two fairleads and the jam cleat. The ring is tied to the end of the furling line. Pull the furling light out of the pulley till it is taut and cleat the line at the jam cleat. Wrap the sail counterclockwise around the forestay tightly. I also wrapped a few turns of the jib sheets around the sail to secure it. The jib sheets are then passed through the jib cleats and cleated. To deploy the sail, uncleat the furling line. Pull on the jib sheets. This will unfurl the sail and wrap the furling line around the drum. To douse the sail, make sure the jib sheets are not cleated. Uncleat and pull on the furling line. The sail will wrap around the forward stay. The job is complete. You now have a furling sail.